welcome to another Take 5. This is the final viewer request Take 5. And the request I was given for today was to look at Romans chapter 11, verse 25. And so let's look at that verse. I do not want you to become ignorant of this mystery, brothers, so that you may not become conceited. Israel has experienced a hardening in part until the full number of Gentiles has come in. In this way, all Israel will be saved. Romans chapter 11, verse 25 is one of the most difficult verses in the book of Romans to understand and to apply. And in all my years as a Christian, I have struggled to understand exactly what this verse means, and I'm still not there. So I'm going to share with you about this verse where I am now. As we look at this verse, we realize that the Israelites, the nation of Israel, the Jews, have rejected God. We see that in the Old Testament over and over again. Israel would be faithful to God, then they would be led astray and become unfaithful. God would punish them as a nation, then he would restore them, then they would be faithful, and the cycle would repeat again and again. Paul is writing here, and he is talking about the fact that Israel has rejected Jesus Christ. We see that in the book of Acts, on the day of Pentecost, when Peter is preaching to the Jews who have gathered in Jerusalem. And Peter says to them, "This Jesus whom you have crucified, God has made Lord." Paul, being a Jew, shares in this chapter of Romans that he sees God allowing the Gentiles to experience grace that comes through Jesus Christ, and one of his hopes is that his people, the Jews, will see God's favor on the Gentiles, and it will arouse in them a jealousy and an enviousness that would cause their hearts to be pricked and bring them to repentance and bring them to an acceptance of Jesus Christ. That's his desire. And he says, if their rejection of Jesus leads to riches for all Gentiles, then how much more will their acceptance of Jesus lead to the fullness of them being saved, leading them from death into life? And so here we get to verse 25, and he says, I don't want you to be ignorant, brothers, about this mystery. And Paul is going to share with them exactly how he thinks God is going to deal with the Jews. I don't want you as Gentiles to believe that you are the favored people now and allow that to lead to some arrogance and pride on your behalf. Israel was God's chosen people. He has extended grace to the Gentiles, and I believe that's what Paul is saying. But now they've experienced a hardening. And until the full number of Gentiles comes, then all Israel will be saved. What that means, a full number of Gentiles, different Bible scholars will tell you different things. That perhaps it is a certain number. Perhaps it is the full number of Gentiles come when Jesus Christ returns. And so there's a lot of debate about what the full number of Gentiles actually means. We get the idea that God's plan for Israel is not over, that his work among the Jews is not done, that perhaps there is coming a time when that hardening is going to be softened, and Israel and Jews are going to once again come back to God. But it can only take place, according to his word, through Jesus Christ. And so as we try to understand this very difficult verse, one thing that I continue to go back to time and time again is this: Jesus Christ is Lord. And whether you're a Jew or whether you're a Gentile, salvation comes through Christ and only through him. Jesus said very clearly, no one comes to the Father except through me. God can do whatever he wants. He can save whoever he wants, how he wants to save them. But we know from his word that salvation is found in Jesus Christ, that there is no other name by which men must be saved but through Jesus.